Alright, so in today's video on the DIY series, How to Build Your Food Truck 2.0 with me, Frank Baltiers, we're going to be talking about the electrical and what you need to run your electrical on the food truck. Pretty much everything you see here is the main components of what you need to do this project in your food truck. I went to my local electric supply place. You can go there or you can buy it on Amazon. I'll link the product here. But when you're running wire in your food truck, the biggest thing that's going to make the difference is the size of the wire. Wire is kind of wire, sort of. The insulation is what makes it a little bit different, and what it can carry in comparison to like amps and watts and things like that. What I have in my food truck right now is 10 gauge wire, which is capable of doing 30 amps. The new one that I just built, which was a 1.0 version, we did a 8 gauge wire, which carries 50 amps. And this is what it looks like. So this is SO cable. They call it SO cable. I actually Googled what it meant. It was extra hard duty something service entrance, but to be honest, all it is a portable service cable. Let's keep it simple. It's a portable service cable that can be used to run. I use this to run underneath my food truck or on the outside because the jacket is a little bit thicker than normal. And if you look on here, there's the difference of these cables is right here. Pause real quick. All right, and what makes the difference on some of these wires and some of these cables is the conductors that are inside. Just like you would run inside your trailer, you'd run either like a 2 conductor or 3 conductor. The conductors are, we call the conductors like a conductor is a neutral, which is the white, and the black, which would be your power. The ground is the ground. It doesn't count as a conductor. This one has the 3 conductors, which is the black, the red, and the white. And then the green is just the ground. So what makes the difference is when you come to a panel right here, as I've explained on my other video, but I'll kind of recap it because that's what this 2.0 is. When you run the service cable or the SO cable through your hole that we're gonna mount here, and you plug it in to one of these are your conductors, which we call them the HOTS. That's what makes your 120 volts off your generator, or if you're hooking up to like a like wherever you're at, wherever you're serving, they're going to provide your power. It's usually a 120 or 240. 240, if you see on here, you got the copper one leg. If you hook up on one leg and the neutral, you'll have this side where you would put your 2 breakers. That would give you 120. And then if you do this side, it'll still give you 120. When you connect them together with a big double breaker being here, that's when you make a 240. But if you don't connect anything to the right side or to the left side, then you can only have 120. That's how I have my food truck. I have nothing that runs on 240 because my big equipment runs on propane. But that's kind of the gist of it. So if you want to be like, let's say, proactive and get the most bang for your buck, go with 8 gauge wire. Make sure it's like this, a service entrance cable. This is all you need. You can buy it at Home Depot, Amazon, or your local electric supply. This right here is your power inlet box. This is a 50 ampere. They have a 30 amp as well. It's a little bit easier to find than this 50 amp. This one is super hard to find right now, and it's a little bit bigger than your normal one. And you have to also buy the other side that goes with it. We'll call it the inlet that goes in, the plug that goes into the inlet box, which is right here. This is a 30 amp one. You can see the size difference on here, right? The 30 is a lot smaller than the 50, and also it gives you like almost like a spear on there on the 50 amp. So this is what you can use. You can use either one. I've never seen them make a 40, so I can't really tell you to do a 40. I've seen them do a 30, and I've seen them do a 50. I wouldn't really go less than a 30 because you're going to be running a lot of stuff. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be pretending that this is the trailer wall, right? We're going to, just like I did on my other food truck, I drilled a hole. Did I? Oh yeah. It's a little bit more tricky when you're doing it on here. So this is like the front of the trailer. That's where you can put this anywhere. You can put this on the back of the trailer, the side of the trailer, the top, the bottom, wherever you want. As long as you keep it somewhere that it's accessible to you, you can mount it there. I like to put mine in the front of the trailer because that's where I put my generator. You want to put it close to your generator. That's kind of the thing. Some people don't even mount on generator. Some people put it on the ground and then they roll it every single time to their truck. I would not do that. That's too much work. That's just me. But if you don't have an option, it is what it is. So you can put this anywhere. And what I did is I drilled through my trailer, which I'm going to do right now. So let's pretend this is your trailer. You're going to take your hole saw right here. You're literally going to drill through your trailer. That's how it is. And then you're going to mount this just like that. So if you see in here, it has a knockout right in there. So you knock this out. You take either like a plier, you can take a screwdriver, whatever you want, and you just knock it right out. You would go a little bit bigger because there's another ring on there for 3/4. And you just mount it right on there so it can be even with the hole. And then you screw it, okay? And then you're gonna take your cable and you're gonna kind of stick it in there when that thing's in there, all right? You guys wanna see it in action? We'll just put it together like that. Boom. There it is. How beautiful is that? And what we're gonna do here, we call it skinning the wire. You're gonna take your utility knife and you're gonna be cautious. You can either go towards you, away from you, whatever makes you feel comfortable. You kind of give it a little stab and then you skin it lightly. I would rather you go twice with the utility knife than to go once really hard, because you don't want to skin the wires on the other side because you can go right through the insulation. So there you go. It is a little bit thicker insulation, just so you know, because it is rated for as a service cable, as a portable service cable. And I found out that the O on the SO means oil resistant. Did you know that? Google told me that today. My gosh, this thing's thick. Just know that it takes you a couple tries. There it is. All right, cool. So then you skin it like that, and then you kind of just pull it back a little bit. And then what you do here is you just go around the cable as such. You guys got an easier way? You feel more than free to do it. This is what I've been doing for a long time. I haven't chopped the finger off yet, so I guess it works all right. Okay, there it is. So these cables, obviously if you have 2 conductors, you're just gonna use 2, which is what I'm gonna use. This one, it's whatever, you can buy whatever cable is available to you. Sometimes it's good to have a spare. That's why some of these cables I have it like that. And then you connect these wires right onto the side of the inlet, on the inlet box where it says white. W is for the white. You can pick the X as a conductor, or you can pick the Y. As long as you pick it on the other side, it's exactly right. As long as on the plug you do the same thing, X or Y, that's what you would do. And then you go to your other side of your trailer and you find a good spot to mount your panel. I try not to put it above the sink. That's just me. I wouldn't say there's something wrong with it, but I try not to put it close to the sink. You find a good spot, you mount it on there, just like I'm gonna do here. Well, first, you gotta drill a hole for that cable too. Boom, you do that in your trailer, exactly like that. You literally have to drill into your trailer. But just don't drill all the way through to get to the outside of the trailer. You just drill the plywood on your trailer. You take a screw, you put it on your drill, you find the knockout that's on the panel. Somehow you're supposed to make it fit.
we'll put 2 just so I can work around with it. And then you're going to use, you can either use 15 amp breakers or 20 amp breakers, whatever your usage is. Just like that. This is a Siemens 4 spacer. This is the one that I would actually use on here. And then what you do here is you have to fish the wire through the bottom of the trailer. On here we're going to cheat obviously because it's a little easier. I'll be right back. This one had the connector on here. I got to take it off. Sorry guys. There it is. So there you go. You do the same thing. You skin the wire, and if you're gonna use 120 and you want all your spaces to be used, then you can hook up both conductors, one here and one there. You'll get 120 as long as you put single pole breakers. Single pole breakers is what connects just one pole, and you can use all 4 spaces. If you don't need that much space, then you can just use the 2 breakers, which is what I have. If you want all 4 spaces because you want different equipment to run differently, then you can plug one of the cables in here, one of the cables in here, the neutral in here, and then they have what they call a ground, like a ground bar that you can put right on here. You can bond it. A ground is like a safety precaution that you use. You can bond, you use a box that obviously is for electricity to flow through. That's what a ground is. So that kind of is the easy explanation of the electrical. Hopefully it made sense. Don't forget, if you want 30 amps, use 10 gauge wire. And then if you want more than 1 conductor, right, you can use it like that with 2 conductors. Call it 8-2. You can do 8-3, which has the 2 conductors. It's whatever you want to use. There's no right or wrong, unless, you know what I mean, you always want to do more if you can, just to have an extra cable. But that's how you hook up your electrical. I guess pretty easy. But anyways, any questions, please let me know. I try to be very like simple as I can so you guys can understand it. But if there's any questions, drop them in the comments. Again, thanks Frank Gutierrez with the DIY series, How to Build Your Food Truck 2.0. Thanks again.